The Mahdia school dorm fire commission of inquiry will travel to the town of Mahdia and other neighboring villages on Wednesday to conduct a familiarization visit. At a press briefing today, the secretary to the commission, Javed Sharik, explained that the visit is not intended to facilitate public hearings, but to have an assessment of the scene of the fire and the affected communities. The team heading into the area will comprise of the chairman of the Commission of Inquiry, retired Major General Joe Singh, along with Commissioners Kim Kai Thomas and Derek John, along with the secretary to the commission.
Well, tomorrow's visit is mostly for the commissioners to have a understanding of the area. There will be a site visit to the Mahdia where the tragedy would have taken place, and there will be a visit to some of the connecting communities, Campbelltown, Mykobi, Karasabai. But the visit is just to allow the commissioners to have an understanding of how traveling is done in those areas and so on.
The visit will also take into consideration the social, cultural and economic aspects of the town of Mahdia and the nearby villages. A date for public hearings has not yet been set. However, Mr. Sharik said he anticipates that the hearings will commence in September. Due to the sensitive nature of the Commission of Inquiry, Sharik explained that while some testimonies will be streamed live, those involving children and victims of the fire will be held in camera, and therefore those testimonies will not be streamed.
This inquiry is a little different from the last one, and we have to be very careful of how we deal with it, because children are being looked at, and we have to protect the rights of the child at all times. Taking that into consideration, even though it is a public inquiry and the public has a right to know, there are safeguards against what can be done and what cannot be done.
The commission has written to a number of persons, including officials, inviting them to testify. With a 15-year-old girl facing 20 murder charges over the dorm fire deaths, the secretary to the commission said he could not say whether she will be asked to appear before the commission.
I can't answer that question. That will have to be a decision by the chairman and the commission. I can say that from the last inquiry, you would know that the Constitution of Guyana protects self-incrimination. So dealing with that specific aspect of the inquiry would have to be dealt with differently.
Meanwhile, it was also disclosed today that Attorney at Law Keoma Griffith has been appointed counsel to the commission. Griffith was the attorney called in by the government to look out for the interests of the family of the victims when the government got them to sign on to a secretive financial settlement. As part of that settlement, the government provided financial assistance to the families on the condition that the government cannot be held liable for the tragedy or the deaths in any future litigation. The secretary to the commission appeared unaware that Attorney Griffith was the attorney for the victims in that settlement.
I know that there was compensation given out, and I would like to say that that was a decision made by the government. This inquiry, as I mentioned before, is impartial. It has to be fair, and it has to do its own work, basically. As towards whether it will affect the persons who we speak to, I can't say at this point in time.
According to the terms of reference of the Commission of Inquiry, the Commission is mandated to inquire into the events and circumstances leading up to the night of the fire on the 21st of May. The cause of fire as well as the response by the authorities will also come under the microscope. The Commission is expected to complete its work within 2 months.